wanted to set the tone. You know, it's so interesting. I've got a whole lot of pieces, and I didn't know really what to read. I didn't know what to expect. And after hearing Kedrick and Bonnie and Lorraine, just very different rhythm and sense to things. And so it's got me thinking differently about just how to start and what to do. I always like to play a little bit because that's where I live. I live deeply in my saxophone. Have for a long time. So I just say, you know, it's too bad that, you know, you have to share a bathroom with a trans woman. I apologize for that, you know. So it's just, you know, to say that. And I've experienced some of that pushback in my life. I turn 10 next Monday. And then in a month after that, I turn 73. So it's kind of a schizo world that I live in. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm happier than I've ever been. That being said, I had an experience that had me write this poem. And it was given to me by a fellow I met in a restaurant. He came up with this line for me. How dare you? How dare you talk? How dare you talk to me? How dare you talk to me, you tranny? How dare you talk to me, you tranny cunt? How dare you talk to me, you tranny cunt? You tranny cunt. I'll elbow you in the throat as your penance for even being alive. How dare you make me feel anything, to make me feel attracted to you, to see you, or to feel me, as a consequence of this moment in time where our beings eclipse one another in the smoke and mirrors in the hall of egos, bumping into each other like foreign dignitaries acting undignified as we play chess hunched over the board minutes, waiting for the tropes that feed dopes like those waiting to die. How dare you? How dare you talk? How dare you talk to me? How dare you talk to me, you tranny? How dare you talk to me, you tranny cunt? Tranny cunt. So, a little levity. Wake the fuck up. Enough is enough. Wake the fuck up. Time to get tough. Wake the fuck up and end all of the privilege, leading me on to walk me back off the ledge, tit for tat, this for that. Keep up on the times, keeps me making rhymes, because if we don't wake the fuck up, we're all going to sleep with the fishes. No time for cute kid pics or comforting stories of a god with an enormous schlong that will knock Eve up for eternity, keeping her coming back for more. Wake the fuck up. Truly, unduly, handle yourself coolly, because if you don't find a way, enough is enough. So little snapshots here. So for years and years, I'd walk from my house to Jericho Beach and back, which is about 10 kilometers, and it's enough time to be thinking of all kinds of different things as you push the tempo and you perspire and you think of the names of the streets and the plants and the trees, and this piece came to me, walking to Jericho. Taking the time that is sublime, to figure out what I got to do. Get from here to there, not as clear as it should be. Nothing's revealed to you, looking for a key or a truth or a freedom. Seems like an endless search, an endless stairway. Got me climbing the walls and wandering the halls of short-changed ideologies and hand-picked fantasies, leading me to move in a way that gets me walking to Jericho. Walking to Jericho. I'm walking in a dream. Walking to Jericho. Things not what they seem. Walking to Jericho. Just as I got to be. Got to be. Got to be. Past the fruitless boughs, the razor-sharp trowels, cutting to the heart of the matter, past the blood, past the splatter. Sisterly relief and the heart-stopping freedom grief as I'm walking to Jericho. I can't fly there, can't swim there, not fleet of foot or swift of thought. One covers every breath, or foot or meter, and every thought deserves time and attention, for it's all at stake. The walk to Jericho is the last experience one takes, as one understands the undertaker, the mood maker and heartbreaker, for all is at stake for us, all as we are one, walking to Jericho. I'm walking in a dream, walking to Jericho, things not what they seem. Walking to Jericho, just as I got to be, every dream, can't take it no more. Closing up shop, closing all the doors, let freedom ring. Okay, I'm going to go with this. So this is very 2026 in my mind. I remember being at Wreck Beach a few years ago, and there was two young women, probably about 18 or 19, enjoying the sun and the day. And they seemed to say nothing but the word like. Every second word was like. That was like. And I think I counted 196 likes between the two of them inside 2 minutes. I actually got my watch it. Like it blew my mind. But so. Okay, so this piece is called Like. Can't express myself. Don't know what to say. Say it all. Approximate. Have to find a way. Make myself clear. Clear at the end of the day. New modus operandi. So I seem to find a way into everything I say. Like. Like, say a word, like, say a sentence, like, do repentance, say you're sorry, morning glory, like, lose a friendship, like, lose your mind, like, admit, like, that you're blind, like, admit that it's insane, like, infiltrate your brain, like. Okay, so I'm starting a new band. It's going to be called The Nikita. And so I'm working on a whole lot of songs. And some of these are kind of some of the songs in various stages of completion. So this one's called Funkin' Fun. Okay. I'm having funkin' fun. I'm having funkin' fun. Drunk and done for the evening, but tomorrow started yesterday. Every time there's a breath to take, I celebrate the day and date. I live so fully that fate can't catch me because I chase it away. I'm having funkin' fun. I'm having funkin' fun. I'm the only one that needs to feel that I'm stretching the canvas, filling the cup to overflow, mad to the max, sad and can't always relax, since funkin' fun says you can't be taxed or axed. So to give you more than you got, it's a fact, since blowing sax is a way to surf infinity, an oral tradition, and a vocal sedition, a way of means of teasing lean limbs and coaxing fins to cut the waves and lead the way through groggy slogging to throw off the shackles of glum and embrace the love of funkin' fun. I'm having funkin' fun. I'm having funkin' fun. Yeah. Snapshots, that's what we got. Short snapshot. Moving it up. Can't say that for a minute. I look and I listen for the quiet that gives me peace. As I breathe and try to retrieve a sense of what's possible, when the message I get is that it's not. Got to keep hold of the thought and hope of trying to be me through all the uncertainty and words that are contrary to being free. To breathe and relieve, be free to receive a cascade of relief from the belief that the only thing that I need to be free is the belief that I'm worthy and strong, that I truly belong to the company of those that see me in words and in song, to be lifted and full of possibility, responsibility to pass all I have along and be part of the flow of time and place, of gender and race, and to feel as if I have a place and value for my innate being, doing and seeing, living and breathing and laughing and grieving. I look and I listen for the quiet that gives me peace. What you got to do. How do you do what you know you got to do when you know what you got to do? How do you do what you know you got to do when you know what you got to do? Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. It's not your glory, not your crown. When you see what you see, but you see what you see, you've got to act to be free. Free to be me. A billion souls, soul to soul. Yes, soul to soul. Can't all be on TV. Free me from TV. Con job, boob job, boobies, yeah, boobies. Grease a palm, lube job, grease me up, baby. Gotta be my time for time after time. Resolution, revolution, resolution, revolution, dissolution, that solution. Step up, stand down. How do you do what you know you got to do when you know what you got to do? How do you do what you know you got to do when you know what you got to do? Fight the good fight. Fight for what's right. Fight the good fight. Nighty-night, nighty-night. Dream the dream to be free. Free, 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 free. Got to be free to be me. Highest calling, y'all. What? Call to the highest. Stand up, no stalling. Your spirit is the tallest of the tall. No lie, y'all. How do you do what you know you've got to do when you know what you got to do? How do you do what you know you've got to do when you know what you got to do? So, only under 40 or 50 here, so I won't do them all, but okay. This is what's called leading you down the psychopath. Leading you down the psychopath, eating morning glory, your vision hoary, broken and breaking the story of the day's evening news. Not boring and trite, but tales of a giant that smites anything, anyone, anywhere, anywhen. Everyone has a choice. Everyone has a chance at this opportunity, the glory fleeting and not remembered. Because it's the fame and shouting your name isn't what it's about. Standing up to the bully's browbeating that you only take till you realize that there's consequence to being a passive shill. Because it's not just for the thrill, but for the survival, and to drink the wine of thriving and standing on the hill as a living and dying example of what it means to be the right thing at the right time. For to choose otherwise leaves you subject to the dustbin of mystery, being a myopic and frightened cucaracha, pretending that down is down and up is up, as you knew it all along. Instead of towing the party line like the conditioned coward that populates most of the human species, or more accurately, the man of the primates, looking to get fat and die with no clue what's it all about, right? Down the psychopath, looking for light and settling for a cheap high to say you lived before you die. Nice try. Die, motherfucker, die. Okay. It's called honorings and offerings. When I get pulled away from my sanity, the first thing I lose is taking care of myself and all of those around me. I get lost in the fuck you. You can't do that. You shit, motherfucker. You gotta prove it. Noisy chatter and the motherfucking clatter of a lonely soul thinking that she's all alone. Got to do it all by herself. When I feel that way, to change it up, I take a deep breath and tell myself I gotta make honorings and offerings and reach out to ask, feel connected through every breath and every cell of my being. Because everything is reflected, and I got to make honorings and offerings to have a loving heart and goodwill to all life, have to live it, walk it, taste it, feel it, wish it for every living being. Honorings and offerings. We're in future talk, obsessed with TikTok, the time bomb ticks, distracted with everything, with politics and tits and ass, shiny bright teeth and fab abs. Put down the loser, that's the lonely poser, the redneck hoser, the mangled bodies, and the Roman Pope. Billionaire predators. I'm feeling mighty fed up with the media feeding me and bleeding me, not treating me. Tired of this shit, not breathing deep. I gotta make honorings and offerings and reach out to ask to feel connected through every breath and every cell of my being, because everything is reflected. I gotta make honorings and offerings, to have a loving heart and goodwill to all life, and wish it for every living being. Honorings and offerings. Kedrick, I loved your silliness, and I relate to it so much. So I've got some silliness here. Sometimes, yes, sometimes, you have to take action. Sometimes it's for better, and sometimes it's for worse. You think it's the right thing, and it's the wrong thing. And sometimes you think it's the wrong thing, and it's the right thing. Are you dumb or just mistaken? It's hard to know in the heat of it all, or sometimes it's just that you can't know, as it's foreign turf you tread upon. I like to think it's the learning process, and that there's some rhyme to the reason, adds time to the season, and hopefully you build a path that leads you to where you need to be. But sometimes you need brute force to push through the stubbornness that holds unjust or cruel circumstances in place. Sometimes you need a Fanshawe pulverizer to change the course. Of course, you might say, but when does one draw on such powerful resources that have unknown and sometimes unknowable consequences? And when it calls for change, like a harsh stain called for on the situation at hand, it's the certainty that the cry of, get me a Fanshawe pulverizer, is the only cry and the only path and the only solution to make the change one needs. When between a hard place and a seemingly unfathomable position where one contemplates the unthinkable, so you ask yourself, am I a bad motherfucker? Yes. Get me a Fanshawe pulverizer. Is this a situation where reason doesn't rule? Get me a Fanshawe pulverizer. Do I have the courage to push through to the other side? I don't know. Get me a Fanshawe pulverizer. 4 decks must be swept clean. Courage must be summoned to face the unfaceable. Otherwise, oblivion is the only other option. In that case, get me a Fanshawe pulverizer.
I'll be your Fanshawe pulverizer.
There you go, baby. Okay, all right, there's, oh my gosh. I don't know, how much time do I have left? I didn't look at I don't have my phone. Oh gosh, woe is me, okay. You're vile, and you're sick, and you're really fucked up. All the nations, for so many generations, layers and layers of madness, killing every iota of happiness and gladness. You want to own me, phone me, bone me, seduce me, reduce me with stories to confuse me, to steal all my value, history, legacy, and future. You're insatiable and broken and mad and immature. I won't have anything to do with you. Won't let you near me, despite the temptation. Yeah, I wouldn't let you fuck me with God's dick. God's dick. God's dick. Wouldn't let you fuck me with God's dick. You're lower than the lowest, bottom of the barrel, and broken of the brokenest. You're the lowest denominator, truly a phenomenal hater, a blasphemous, sacramental masturbator, spewing loads of loaves, the wine and the biscuit, your hands on my pussy, you just want to frisk it, and set me back some generational worries, because I can't be bothered to listen to the shit you're selling, dealing, stealing, feeling justified, to like in the name of some occupational hazard. Yeah, wouldn't let you fuck me. Wouldn't let you fuck me with God's dick. God's dick. God's dick. Wouldn't let you fuck me with God's dick. You're the lowest You're lower than the lowest, bottom of the barrel, and broken, the brokenest. So I really do have a lot of forms here. Start to boom in you say, oh sweetheart, change the channel. Okay. Fod's going. Going. Fod's going. Going. Fod's going was to get conned into creating the universe with promises of riches and tall, lithe, lean bitches. The con was on for the universal Don Juan. Fod's got to have the biggest dick. It's past his knee, further than Orion's belt. He started as a she, as we all do, then transitioned because she's humble and realized that she was too awesome as herself, so made herself a lesser. To be a lesson to us all, that humility is at the heart of it all. The bitter pill to swallow that keeps us reaching and stretching and preaching and retching, seeking vibration, freeing each nation from all the screeds and wretched deeds. Fod's going. Go. Fod's going. Go.
Give it up for Nikita.
Give it up for Nikita.
I wrote a book a couple of years ago. It came out. It's called Both Sides of the Great Divide, the Gender Divide. It's available at the back. You can come and talk to me if you're interested in a copy of it. And give it up for Clifton Joseph.
John, I'm not a religious guy, but let there be light.
No more?
S'il vous plaît, more is more.
Oui.
Hey, it's my favorite place in the entire country. I must confess. It's today, actually. 53 years ago today. At 10:30, April 10th, 1973, my father, me, and my younger brother taxied into Pearson Airport from Antigua and Barbuda, 108 square miles, 68,000 people at the time. The year before, we had just gotten our first street light in the village. I could never imagine there were so many lights on at the same time anywhere. It was absolutely amazing. We're home to my friends. They have some things they call escalator stairs that move. Today is my anniversary. I got to call my brother in Windsor. Today is our anniversary, our 54th anniversary of being in this country. And of course, going to Blow Collegiate, going Duffin, they had asked me, where you from? I say, Antigua. Where in Jamaica is that? One time, white Canadians only knew Jamaica. Then they knew the Barbados. I grew up as an Afro-Saxon. It was a British colony. So we learned everything Saxon, which is what got me into poetry. The English Romantics, they had a thing. We used to like about 12 subjects, including Spanish, Greek, Latin, and penmanship. I'm aging myself, so some of you all look like you might have done penmanship. Some of you also did shorthand, probably. Right?
Typing.
'Twas an ancient mariner, and there was recitation too. You had to go in front of the class and recite. And Miss Jacobs, our English teacher, would slap you, beat you, because they had corporal, sergeant, and maximum general punishment at the time. Teachers could beat you. So you had to memorize. And it was the English romantic poets that got me onto the groove, in terms of, poetry, So, 'twas an ancient mariner, and he stopped us one of three. By thy long grey beard and glittering eyes, now wherefore stops thou me? The bridegroom's doors are open wide, and I am next of kin. The guests are met, the feast is set. Mayst hear the merry din. He holds him with his glittering eyes. The wedding guest stood still, and listens like a 4 years child. The mariner hath his will. The sun came up out of the east came he. He shone bright and in his might, went down into the sea. The albatross, water everywhere. And not a drop to drink. Then my friend said, Clifton, what's this thing about moons and sunbeams and streams? When's the last time you saw streams? And you're too stiff on the stage. You gotta gesticulate like them Italians. Move your hands up and down and do walk. You know what I'm saying? Paisano, you know what I'm saying? It's been a glorious time, the adventures in poetry. I was able to meet some of the big wigs in this game while we were trying to push this thing called dub poetry. And we're still here, still doing it. And it's glorious. My favorite city and country. Sorry, my city, county, and province in the country. Harrison Hot Springs, Nelson, you name it, all the way, Chilliwack. I was caught looking for some weed in Chilliwack. I'll tell you. When you realize that the one you just met a half hour ago is the only person in the world that knows where you're at. I'm telling you, you lose your cool right away. Wild horses rush in from the shore. Avalanches of foam split into 100 million directions as I look for your arms, for your legs, for your comely touch. A Neanderthal man wheels by a broken chain towards the waves, bursting as they are, bubbles into the spume air. Looking through the skies, cloudbursts of fire blaze across the heavens, conjuring up galaxies of thoughts of you. There's always a flip side thing. Footnote to the end of a love affair. And hey, what about yesterday? As footsteps bounce off concrete away into the now barren night, skyscraper washed white of all the light. Baby, what about yesterday? Nikita had a poem with sometimes repeated, that made me read this one, sometimes a love song. Sometimes no room is large enough. Claustrophobia inevitably sets in. The old man chained in his dungeon of hope. Harmattan winds blowing caravans of mirages across the desert. On the plantation hill, the windmill does not spin. Perch atop its wings, flightless vultures with wings without grins await atonement for their father's sins. Through apertures of ancestral memory, through past, present, future joys and pains, saxophones wail righteousness towards the skies. Sometimes even the sky is not room enough. I prance across the cosmos, throwing my hands to far-off constellations, Orion sings my blues, the Big Dipper sings my constellations. Sometimes the sky is too much too much. I yearn for the space you're in, oh baby, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby, oh baby, to be in the space you're in. Sometimes cool floods of retribution brings sweet joys. The burgeoning tornado aiming for the hill, the windmill spilling blood, dead stars lacerating the horizonless twilight, falling like bats in the lighted room. Sometimes a cave, a room, an alcove, a cupboard, a dumb waiter, a medicine chest, a keyhole. Sometimes a single, simple, solitary thought is enough to contain me when I'm with you, baby. So I got a job at Sunnyvale Hospital, right? And I realized that something was very strange. First couple of weeks. It was like a 90% West Indian in the housekeeping department. Wash the dishes, wash the clothes, get the food together, do all the day, mop up the operating room and shit, And I was just getting into poetry at the time, and I had an idea of a poem where we would take a rhythm from a popular song. In this case, it was Ikamon's calling, I love my little girl and child. She too short and I'm too tall. And I was trying to do the experiment because Monday to Friday, you're just a regular cat, right? But come the weekend, we used to pimp out, get our 3-piece gabardine suits. You know what I mean? Rent a limousine for the weekend, and we're like pimping it. You know what I'm saying? But of course, Monday will come again, right? Unfortunately, the weekend only lasts 2 days. Chucky prophecy. Shumbo mani labi 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 labao. Shumbo mani labi 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 labao. Shumbo mani labi 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 labao. Shumbo mani labi 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 labao. In walk in a one smelly, sweaty, stinking, dirty factory. In the daytime, nighttime, early morning time, for very little money. But come the weekend time, backside, he's flashy. See him pop in style in his Cadillac. Watch him pull into the station for some gasoline. Hear him as he tips his feathered fedora hat. Hey, Jack, fill her up with $1 worth of gasoline. Watch him as he shifts into the pockets of his 3-piece gabardine and shift into his Chicago gangster lean. He's cussing like hell that Monday will come again and interrupt his weekend party, consoling tartly, dancing heartily time in this here cold northern clime. Time will come around when Chucky's disgruntled frowns will send skyscrapers and fire tumbling down to the ground in these here northern Babylon towns. Shungo mandila bila 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 bow. Shungo mandila bila 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 bow. Shungo mandila bila 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 bow. Shungo mandila bila 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 bow. Hope sprung like a gleaming guillotine in my head, long dead to the everyday. You know what? Maybe not. Let's keep Bob Hope alive. Keep Hope alive. Ironically, Jesse Jackson just died the other day, and he kept Bob Hope alive for years. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hell no. There's an election coming up, actually. We just had a recent election. Avi Lewis was anointed the head of the federal NDP. Somebody crossed the floor the other day, another conservative to the liberals. Hard to tell the difference between those two motherfuckers these days. Isn't it? 3 by-elections coming up on Monday. The federal liberals are 1 seat away from the majority. 2 of them are in Toronto, liberal stronghold. 1 is in Quebec. They're fighting against the bloc. Those fucking politicians, though. All of them. They love you at election time. They hate you the rest of the time. Fuck them. This one was for a particular politician. Tell me if you know who it might be.
Oh.
We're the politicians who said they'd make things so much better. Now that they're in power, we try to talk to them, they just bluster, fluster, and filibuster like John Poindexter. So often it's just like exchanging one evil for another. And at this late hour, you find out that they're serving another master. We're the politicians who said they'd make things so much better. Now that they're in power, we try to talk to them, they just bluster, fluster, filibuster like John Poindexter. So often it's just like exchanging one evil for another. And at this late hour, you find out that they're serving another master. We're the politicians who said they were your brothers and your sisters, campaign for your votes and identify with all your struggles. But now the election is done, you can't hear them, you can't see them, they can't hear you, they can't see you. You're deaf to the ears, you're deaf to the ears, and they can't hear you. We're the politicians who said it'd make things so much better. Now that they're in power, we try to talk to them, they just bluster, fluster, and filibuster. So often it's just like exchanging one evil for another. And at this late hour, you find out they're serving another master. We're the politicians. We're the politicians. Where's that politician who was my kind of rabble rouser? Such fine oratory, such fire, such speaking truth to power. Now with the legislative lever in his hand, he's forgotten you in the corner. He's too busy bedding down with the same people he used to rail after. We're the politicians who said it'd make things so much better. Now that they're in power, we try to talk to them, they just bluster, fluster, filibuster like John Poindexter. So often it's just like exchanging one evil for another. And at this late hour, we find that they're serving another master. Where's that politician that was such a convincing Mr. With that smooth, easy smile and that affable sense of character. Oh, how I hug his words and marvel at his charm and his charisma. But now as a Vancouver, he's got nothing for you. We're the politicians who said they'd make things so much better. Barack Obama. You are the politicians that'll make things much better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I've rejected a few things. Bear with me if you will. Biding time like a metronome's babies, cradles, lots of the world's new sounds and sights, gone in the building blocks of the inspirations of a new world are coming, with the strength of survival lies against the world of isms, marooned in the hopefulness, dream of better comings, with a hopefulness as Christian as second comings of shouted hallelujahs and storefronts, huddlings of souls and Sundays, away from the weekly work slavery, the weekend's proclamation of emancipation from the punch clock plantation, ticks and clicks of duties gouging the duff in 19 buses in the early mornings, sleepy-eyed rushes of bus rides to the factories and sweatshops of wishes, ambitions, and political deities of the dollar dream. Good God Almighty! Sacred scriptures scroll visions of wealth, happiness, and false idolatries propagated by propagandistic diction of fictions, advertised, subverted realness and expressive fictions, when what you do is sing, swing, sing, swing, sing, swing. Ooh, ooh. What the moonlight can do. Ooh, ooh. What the moonlight can do. Blue, the color of the night's halo of neon search for the realness, for the real, when what you do is sing, swing, sing. Ooh, ooh. What the moonlight can do. The twisted rope of hope dangling from that tree, see. A festival of carnival barkers, the picnic crowd of old and young, showed Coliseum spectacles of Sundays, Sabbaths of sacrifices. The high wire act atop the high tops hierarchy of hurt. The clown's cackle of fake tears, gasps of the body's last intake, choke of ear, and death's shriek swinging indignity. Slave ships, jumps of shackles into the shark's deep blue sea, free. Dark days, nights, footsteps of riverside stalk weary, bark starry northward flights of constellations of contested destiny. Oh my, oh my, oh mercy. Hot sudden suns, whiplashings of simmering heats, seared skins, red dripping monotones of moans and drones. Go memories, go memories, go memories. Sudden slights, singeings of hooded cross-burning lawns, tyrannies of trees, on bended knees of please and appease. Ooh, what a little moonlight can do. Ooh, what a little moonlight can do. Whorehouse sweeper and step washer, house worker, street walker, ear cop for sweet talkers, crop shooter, jazz lounge dancer. She took the name from actress Billy Dove and soared notes way above the naysayers, backbiters, critics, cheats, and freaks who would see her meek and greet ingratitudes with the other cheek of songs, blue as bent notes of hurt, tight and tenuous, the throat now a tangled chokes of spurts, sparks a solar of solitudes. Gardens of gardenia then, fragrances float flotillas of F-sharps, when you syruply swing sounds of sadness so sweet, sweetness of songs so sad, when you bend the tonalities of tough treatments into blue skies of clear joys and wonderings of ooh, what a moonlight can do. A dark demeanor diva, dire with desire, a songbird with a bouncing monotone, a soundboard of blurred bone modes and codes, a rattling of old bones and souls. It was painful and poignant, perfunctory and blue, majestic and marvelous, magical new, lounging low down and gut-wrenching and true, bouncing, nuancing, timbers of blue hues. Then they tried to doom you in gloom, jail bars, another lover done gone, dope marks and scars, loud mascaras, and the macabre inequality of Mr. Charlie's laws. But the bloom voice boom plumes, solemn inside, bountiful and glad. The jukebox cue tunes move blue grooves to the outer edge of madness, gladness, badness, and sadness. The sad mess of capitals, exalted nomenclature and success, measured by the cling, 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 ching of the almighty dollar bill. When what you do is sing, swing, sing, swing. Ooh, what the moonlight can do. Ooh, what the moonlight can do. Strange fruit, baby, strange fruit. Now we forget the stuff. Hey, thanks, brother. Mercy, I'm brother person. Absolutely. No, yes, I mean, hallelujah and tabernacles. That's what's up. Going to start my late night mega church shit, right? $755. I need to get me a 65 million jet. The Lord wants me to fly around. Are you against the Lord's wishes? 555-755-22256. Send you life savings. Hope swung like a gleaming guillotine in my head, long dead to the everyday rhythms around me, lost in the thought of it all, stranded, going along a carcass of want, strung out in the big city largesse of neon glint, got to sprint for clarity at the offshore mountain banks of globalized scams, sacrilege of privileges. Wealth and happiness squelch along a monsoon of inequalities. The wrath of tycoons, cool caches of cash, flashed in limousines, stretched out wages of the profit motive. Votes, a sham lineup of ballot boxes, extra etchings of sliding values, and puppet politicians, lostly the discount sales of the social contract. When looking for heroes in the dark of night, found promises all littered on a trail of lies, and there's no one to contact for the exact sense of country, land, clan, philosophy, civility, no one lines of accountability, no saviors in the dark to spark some vacated sense of joy in the forecast of plenty for the few. Only disgust at the disguises of lies, packaged and perfected to shed comparisons and compromises, the guises that guide the ship of government, business as usual, and damn the glut of dissent for true democracy, the flux in essence, the people's sense of human decency. Vaingloriously, the profit motive has no mercy. When looking for heroes in the dark of night, found promises all littered on a trail of life. So I was going to do the double shuffle and buckle under the weight of all my troubles, cruising my blues in the world's purple days, moving through the streams of contradictions, trying to stay true to my beliefs and my convictions. Seen the scene come to be dominated by would-be gangsters with ignorant guns. Seen fun done run away from some. Seen dreams drifted caustic and strung out on tribulations and trepidations. Seen good times roll by unawares. Oh, slow trumpets of my ears. Oh, sweet sense of meaning, please help me wash away my fears. I went looking for heroes in the dark of night, found promises all littered on a trail of lies. 1,000 horns, choruses cluck crescendos like ducks then. A kaleidoscope of lions dens. Dense chambers of fates metamorphosized like wings afloat. Transmutations of kind memory swish through time and space with the fury and grace of stars dying. But there was that night in Tunisia when metaphors like meteors soared, roared, seared, showered bright, incandescent alchemy, joys, more effervescence than money's tarnished glisten and its glitter, more than its inviting doom and its mayhem, its distractions, debaucheries, and indignities, more than its bankrupt fountain of applause, more than its forever making of men into boys of submission, more than its mission of gloom, plume in promises, more than its woefulness of steam and fury, more than its murky barbers of panache, light, flash, smoke, and mirrors, more than its cesspool of commons, culture, and platitudes, charming, charismatic, and cunning, more than its slurred tones of possibilities, snatched away like the vengeance of hard hearts, their map makers' incisions, continually charting new geographies of greed. Went looking for heroes in the dark of night. Found promises all littered on a trail of lies. But there was that night in Tunisia when metaphors like meteors soared, roared, seared, showed bright, incandescent joys, alchemies, bright with me and my senorita, Sensimina, that night in Tunisia.
Let's keep it going for Clifton Joseph, Nikita and yourselves for being such a lovely group of people and recognizing April is Poetry Month in the way you really should. So thank you all for being here. It was absolutely lovely to have you join us for this evening.